Well, we'll come back to that conversation that was taking place between Putin and Macron, not just on the Russia-Ukraine conflict. We'll now turn to their conversation regarding Middle Eastern tensions. The Kremlin says President Putin emphasized that Iran has the right to peacefully develop nuclear energy and must continue honoring its obligations under the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Meanwhile, the French president's office says President Macron raised concerns about Iran's nuclear activities, calling the threat serious enough to warrant the involvement of all 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council. He urged Iran to fully cooperate with the International Atomic Energy Agency. This comes after Iran's parliament passed a bill last month to suspend cooperation with the IAEA. That move follows joint US and Israeli airstrikes on Iranian nuclear facilities, strikes they claimed were meant to stop Iran from developing a nuclear weapon. Tehran, however, denies having such intentions. President Macron reaffirmed his commitment to a diplomatic solution, one that not only addresses the nuclear issue, but also Iran's missile program and its role in the region. Both leaders agreed to coordinate their efforts moving forward. Well, once again with us is Dr. Wael Awad. Let's look now at this conversation. We know that Russia is a key ally of Iran. We know that Europe, of course, have been backing Ukraine in their war with Russia. But given the conflict that has been at play here, do you think that relationship between Russia and Iran, given the conflict with Israel, could have ramifications on other Western nations? And do you think that there could be support from Western nations in condemning what Iran are doing in line as they have done with Russia?
Why they have to condemn Iran? I don't understand. If you are attacking a sovereign nation, you are attacking against the UN Charter, which is also prevent any country from attacking a sovereign nation. You are against the Geneva Convention, which is also prohibit any country of attacking a nuclear site. And instead of condemning the attack by the United States and Israel, you are collaborating and you are doing a covert operation to a regime change. The whole attack on Iran was not only orchestrated by the Israelis and the Americans, by the way. The West have their own hand also sucked in the blood of poor Iranian. They have already taken part in this attack and this covert operation. It is Germany, it is France, it is UK, and Israel, including the United States, who has been attacking Iran. So I think there are 2 issues here to look at it, Joshua. One is that Macron has been talking to Putin after 3 years. They have not spoken when the war broke in Ukraine. And that's show you a clear indication that it is not the Ukraine or the Russian war on Ukraine. They still wanted to show support, but because they are worried about the Iranian issue. And they know there was a nuclear deal between 2015 between P5 plus Russia was taking a keen interest, and that was part of the deal 2015 with Iran, that they will safeguard the enrichment uranium that Iran have made, and they will save it with them as a guarantee for the nuclear deal. But here you are, you wanted to destroy Iran is not because you wanted worried about the Iranian nuclear deal. By the way, Iranian had never had the bomb. Even the UN agency, atomic agencies have been, nuclear agencies have been saying Iran is far away from the bomb, and they are not even have any evidence to prove that. And yet you are having a nuclear state, a United States, an undeclared nuclear state called Israel, who are having 90 nuclear head plus, and they are attacking a sovereign nation, and you wanted Macron to step in, not to solve the problem of Ukraine, but because he is an ally and a supporter of Netanyahu, and they wanted to have a global support for Netanyahu, especially against Iran, because Iran refused to speak even to the director of the atomic energy, because they know that he is nothing but a traitor who has been sending all the documents and data of the Iranian nuclear activities to Israel. And in fact, that is where the Iranians have captured so much of documents from the Israelis intelligence Mossad, and they were spreading it and exposing the Israelis' intention and their plan, not only for the nuclear Iran program, but also for neighboring countries like Egypt, like Saudi Arabia, like Iran, the future, even European, even India have something to do with those documents. It isn't possessed now with the Iranian. So I think the French president is trying to show his strength when it comes only in support of Israel. France is losing its also credentials and accountability as a peace broker in the region. You know, whether it is remain in Palestine.
Dr. Awad, I want to take our focus and look at that diplomacy now, because the European Union